This is Jeff from Airstream Nerds. When I get back, we're going to review the KOA campground here in Sweetwater, Tennessee.
Airstream song, cruising to the campsite singing our song. Airstream song, we are the Airstream Nerds.
Okay, we're turning onto Murray's Chapel Road for the KOA Sweetwater, Tennessee.
Now coming in, there's a real sharp corner right before the entrance up here, and you definitely want to stop before you attempt. They do have one of those mirrors up in the corner to help you see around the corner. But last night we had a car come flying around that corner, and it was a little tricky for a second or two there. Luckily I was paying attention. It's been rainy the last few days, so we've done most of our camping indoors, which is okay. Caught up on some rest. So the school bus is going into the campground too. So here's the entrance to the campground. This is the sharp corners. You can see the mirror over here. So you can come on in.
It's a very small campground.
It's a small campground, just like all the KOAs. You pull up to the office, you go into the office, and then you follow their golf cart to the spot where you're supposed to park, which is nice in some ways. I know in other we've got a pull through here, but in other KOAs we've actually they guide you in and everything for backing in, which is cool too. They've got a nice little playground here with a basketball court, and they've got a jumping pad and everything.
Dog walk.
The little dog
canine, they call it.
Yeah, the dog pen. You take your dogs in to run around. The office and the shop. There's swings and a pool right up the hill to the right of the building here. Now right over here to the right is a bunch of cabins and tent sites and stuff. These are all pull-through sites down through here. And I think most of the sites are actually pull-through sites on this side of the campground. There's some cute little cabins.
Different sizes.
There's a big pavilion that they had kind of a ceremony, awards, dinner and stuff the other night in there for 100 of us or so. It was pretty cool.
For the Jamboree, not for the KOA.
Yeah, for the Jamboree. The Rat Terrier Jamboree, which is the reason why we were here for this particular weekend. And we just decided to make a week of it. This is a nice big field. This is probably a good,
huge,
6 to 10 acre field that they set up a big fenced in area for the dogs to run loose. And they had
big fixed siding.
We had that's basically down there is where the Jamboree was. I think there are some permanent campers here. It just from walking the dog and walking around, I've noticed that some of these camps look like they've been there for a while. They've been set up. There's leaves piled underneath of the camper and around their hoses and stuff. So I think there's several sites here where there's permanent members, permanent residents.
There's the backside of the dog walking in the playground.
Yeah, the owners were actually, or at least some of the employees, I believe they're the owners, were at the Jamboree the other night, and I was talking with one of them, and they seem really nice people and down to earth, and The park is clean. They're constantly running around and doing gardening and cleaning up and picking up trash. There's no dumpsters. They have these yellow trash cans all over the place, which is kind of cool. I know in other places you have to carry your trash to a central location. They drive around and pick these up all the time. On the way out here is the dump station. If you happen to, I guess you'd have to come out and come back in to use it, or use it on the way in. But it's a, you know, your standard dump station. It's a nice little campground. The spaces are close together. There's not a lot of distance between your neighbors. There's not a lot of foliage between your neighbors. So
probably more of an overnight stop, to be honest.
Yeah, kind of an overnight stop, or if you are doing a lot of sightseeing in the area, which we didn't do.
But there's not a lot to see.
But it has been a decent experience. It's been quiet, and part of that's at this time of year. Not a lot of kids running around making a lot of racket. Which, if I'm gonna camp when it's raining, I'd rather it be quiet so I can relax and do absolutely nothing. But I don't know. I like the campground. Campground's alright. It's a place that I would definitely. It's right off 75. Just a mile or two off of 75 here in Tennessee. So it's, with the pull through, it's really easy to do, to pull in for an overnight. We've noticed that several people have done that. We've changed neighbors about 5 times since we've been here. People have come in. Last night, they didn't even disconnect. They just pulled in. The sites are somewhat level. We were off a little bit, like 2 inches in ours, but just threw it up on the levelers, and it was it'd be super simple to throw your levelers in there, pull up on them, and be ready to leave in the next morning, just by pulling off the levelers. Anyway, I like the campground. This is Jeff from Airstream Nerds, and I'll see you on the next trip.